The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
We had bad words and said, and got in trouble. Bad words. Bad words. We won't. We learned. We just heard funny voices. We thought the voices were funny. We said what they said, and then we got in trouble. Radio? What's that? We just heard them in our head.
Could it be? Do their minds work in the same way?
No, just people talking real fast. It was like, it is time at last, my nasty speed freaks. Our brother man is about to grow up. DJ Flatio's Big Boy Daniel single is here. Buckle up, cause this is the fastest track that you're ever gonna hear. Turn up the volume, blow those speakers out. Now here's... No! Don't say bad words, stupid.
Why? What a splendid rendition these two rapscallions have offered us here today. Faultless memorization. Perchance they'll enjoy greatness as a double act in the performing arts.
A word when you're done.
The boy draws a jagged rock across the ground. It leaves a white scratch.
What bad people?
I don't think questioning 4-year-olds without their parents present is gonna crack the case.
Yes. Yes.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a
Detective, about what the twins had to say. I believe they heard something, and given the poverty of this part of town, I don't know how they could have heard the radio. I don't know how they heard it, but I know the station they imitated, so they must have heard it somehow. Speed Freaks FM.
No hesitation. He knows it well. Probably has the channel saved to his radio.
It's important in our line to know about all sorts of things. I know a little bit about radio culture.
The machinery of his mind is at work, sire. With swiftness, the gears do turn, for to produce deceit. He seeks to hide his fondness for his favorite channel, Speed Freaks FM.
No, and my radio habits are not relevant to this serious murder investigation.
You have seen through the veil he would have drawn o'er your eyes. Do with...
Weird as it is, the situation is not connected to the murder. This isn't our business. No, I just don't see how this furthers our investigation into a murder, that's all.
An ocean breeze blows in strong. He raises his jacket collar against it.
Besides, maybe it was just a radio they overheard. They might not be old enough to know the difference. How would they have heard the voices? That doesn't seem likely to me. Let's at least rule out radios before continuing. Maybe the twins didn't know it was a radio they were hearing. The washerwoman seems to know everything that happens here. Let's ask if she heard anything before moving on. After you.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? A radio? Ah, no. We play no radio here. There's one in the shack, but it's never used. Was that the nonsense we were spouting? Pah! No, I have no idea where we heard it. We've been in earshot all week, and no radio. These ears know every sound that belongs to this coast. I would know if I heard anything different.
Let's just get it out of the way as fast as we can. Contact dispatch from my kinema and ask them to connect you to the station. Maybe they can shed some light on this. I'm ready when you are. Thank you, ma'am.
Anything else? What more do you want to know about that poor girl? Yes, let's hear those other questions.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's up?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Come again, officer? Okay, officer. One moment. I have the GMS on the line. I'll connect you now.
Yo!
The starting gun fires, and we're off.
Yo, you got DJ Mesh here, my man. I got a few minutes before I gotta go back on air. What do you need? An asshole is a mouth for shit. And I'm puking.
That's the name of the song. Vulgarity is la belle de jour.
It ain't just a song. It's a shit-hot new single from DJ Felicio that's shredding up the sonic waves. They're loving it, man. The requests keep coming in for more. I really think it's the future of music, I do. Fucking, like, stinkcore or something. Shit's so nasty. Those stink waves come up like sound waves, you know what I mean?
This is preposterous. Neither sound nor scent work anything as he's describing. What does he even mean?
Very cool, man. I'm dead serious when I say Fellatio's gonna make it big in this world. It's illegal not to play, man. When you got that kind of music in you, the universe demands that you got to let it out. You know what I mean? Plus, Felicio and I got it in our contracts that we could play our own tracks. So really, it would be illegal not to. Come on, man. I just told you we're cleared to play shit like that. Listen, it's not our problem if kids decide to tune into River Shaw's hottest station. I don't understand. Are you asking if we can, like, play our station into people's brains? Speed Freaks FM is elective listening, man. We don't want to force the people to adopt our thinking. That's fascist bullshit. Right, well, no. We don't force radio into people's heads. Don't know how you even do that, man. Was there anything else you need to know?
Merchandise. Ask for Speed Freaks FM merchandise.
I can understand why you'd ask. Our shit's hot. Think we gave the last of it away at our last live show, but, what's your address anyway? That I can do. Whirling in rags, Martinez, got it.
Even if a package arrives, how will it get to you if it hasn't got your name on it?
I don't want to know, man. I like leaving it to the imagination. Now, anything else? Nah, man. Thank you. This has been an absolute pleasure. Later, cop man.
The party has terminated the call. Is there anything else I can do for you, officer?
You should check the radio. It requires no adjustment. The radio is already set to Speed Freaks FM.
Spoke to the wildest cop and rapper show. Didn't even get his name. But whoever that mystery cop was, we salute him.
Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right?
The lieutenant is resolutely silent, staring at the console. A look of betrayal. The secret has been revealed. Go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Souped up motor carriage for one bad mama's boy. For the heavier foot and the freakier.
God damn it! Look, it helps me to stay alert on long nights, okay? It's a method. I'm not some kind of speed freak or... You would be too if you had this motor carriage. But seriously, let's quit joking around, alright? We have a case to investigate.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? 57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Okay, about that call. Let's start from the top. There's no doubt that the twins heard Speed Freaks FM. I still don't know how without a radio, but they did. Nope.
The final word on this matter has been spoken.
I don't know what it means. I don't think the voices in your head are related to this, no.
The lieutenant gives you a long look.
I don't know what to say to that, or what you want me to say. I'm sorry. Did we ask where the kids were when they heard the voice? No need to apologize. I was just going to say it'd be a good idea to ask them. And, Detective, thanks for this. It's been interesting.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme. Hi again, gendarme.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy, all about that physical prowess and athletic skill. Nothing else here.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it, but he's really gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his wrinkled face.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home, cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Kuketu uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, cause he's gonna be buried without it.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable.
Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it is, part of life really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore, about anything really. But you must need something. René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian lilies. That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings and crests, and all that other stuff he loved so much. There were many reasons, but mostly it was the communards. They called them the Bells of Revolution. I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece of the whole Insulinde. The royalists had to surrender to the Mazovian insurgents. It doesn't really matter anymore. Yes? What about René? I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a Kant, and he died a Kant. Let's leave it at that.
Yes.
It is what I just don't know anymore.
Hello, Wandering Man. How can I...
Those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here. Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you. Yes, this looks pretty advanced, all right. For now, let's just move on.
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. René left his uniform neatly folded on the table.
If you must. But please hurry, we are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. Apart from the uniform, the only noteworthy item is a framed photograph on the table. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, René, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that picture of René? You really took an interest in that old soldier. I guess there's no harm taking the picture. The dock workers would probably throw it in the trash anyway. I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. Ah yes, I was informed. It seems to be a big undertaking. What are you hoping to achieve with it exactly? A vanity project? Or is this your way of inciting rebellion? Tut tut. I thought you lawmen were supposed to keep the peace.
We are. And we will do our best to ensure that's what happens here.
Indeed. I'm glad to see you making headway with your endeavors, Mr. Dubois. I look forward to seeing the end result. Is there anything else on your mind?
Mister, I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Lariche said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawer slide.
Oh, sorry, officer. What do you want?
Host almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Yes? What about René? Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes.
It is what I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you... Officer, I just...
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
There. We were there.
Full circle. Back to Feld, then. When you're ready.
The boy turns the rock over in his hands. He looks to you, then is... There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled... The once bright mural towers above you, saying, Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. You know a lot about radio. Enough to know you have no idea how or why those boys heard Speed Freaks FM in their heads. Knowledge like that isn't just obscure. It's unknowable. Dangerous theoretical facts like that are probably protected under the coalition government's Articles of Dominion, Title 14, Article 7C. While an expert might be able to suss it out on their own, a layman like you has no hope. You don't know how it happened, but the stores of your knowledge are vast, and there is something crucial in them. You know where Ruby isn't. She isn't in the fishing village. She's not with her bullet under the floorboards in the shack. So where could she be? The alcoholics never mentioned seeing Ruby either. Idiot Doom Spiral gave an exhaustive account of recent events, but never mentioned seeing Ruby. You've searched the whole coast for Morel's traps, just as you didn't find the Insulindian phasmid. You did not find her. You've even entered the church, met Tiago and Sorna. Some criminals seek sanctuary from sacred buildings, though the sanctuary laws were abolished decades ago. But Ruby wasn't such a one. If she's here on the coast, she'll be here. And besides, something weird happened to the twins around here. It'd be nice to know what caused that. Another fact for your collection. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you, in her breath, flowing through it. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay, why? Right. How do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards of the boardwalk. Could this be an alternative path into the fell building? A building like this must have multiple doors serving various functions, perhaps a basement access. Your eyes slowly begin to adjust to the darkness inside the drainage pipe. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. An ordinary drainage pipe. Darkness. As your eyes adjust, you see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted skulls on the right side. And nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
I see. Another stop on your crusade against narcomania. I was hoping we were in pursuit of a murder suspect. Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health either. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around.
He means the pipe must be coming from somewhere in the building.
And it's right here. A maintenance door.
It's jammed shut. The subtle approach isn't going to work on this one. Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand. Behind the pipe, the maintenance door, rusted shut and half sunken in sand. You and the lieutenant lean all your weight into pushing the doors apart, but you're not quite synchronizing your efforts. They slam shut again before you can enter.
Let's take a breather and try this again later. It's very tough.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp. In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground, and you're 180? Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead, what if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder? Astral projection. Be open-minded about this.
Teleportation is not a thing.
Even if it isn't, no one told you.
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here. Oh yes, it could hurt a lot.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is... Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle! It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's been here under the boardwalk for a while.
What do you mean, who's there? It's me, Kim. Stop playing around and help me get the door open.
It's much easier from this side. The panels on the rails slide once you dust the sand off. With the help of your partner, from the other side, the doors open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that. Yes. Time to investigate these passages. Let's move quietly and not make more sound.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spider web in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand. Grains stick into the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago. Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff. I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary? This does look like an embrasure, a slit made for shooting out of. Outside the window, the day is clear, and as mild as can be in early spring.
It's a great place to hide, and Mazovianism and murder are certainly not mutually exclusive, but there hasn't been anyone here in ages. Indeed, no one could get a clear view. Well, at least we've been thorough. I like thorough. In fact, I think we're done with this bunker. After you, officer.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost smell.
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace and it will start breaking down uncontrollably. Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
You're right. However corrupt he may be, nothing happens in Martinez without him knowing. We might have to dirty our hands, but...
In this case, we can't afford to be squeaky clean.
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.